Average at Best Cornhole here. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I didn't know a whole lot about Oktane Cornhole until I saw that they were releasing a new series for the 2026 stamped year. They are ACL Pro stamped, and this new series is a hybrid material bag. It's called Burnout. Now, Oktane, they are a Canadian-based company, and I'll get into a little bit more of that later, but these bags, they're just different. They hit a little different. I don't know what it is about it. I think it has a lot to do with the fill, which I'm going to describe, but I was very impressed with these Burnouts and can't wait to explain that to you. I teased that they have a hybrid material on the slow side, and that hybrid material is Kadid. Kadid can also be found on Guardian, Darts, or Kinslayers. Thing about this Kadid is that the fabric is rotated 90 degrees than what we're used to. Most of the time, the big strands go up and down. These ones are going side to side. I don't know if that does anything for the bag. I know a big company made a big deal about it last year, and I'm just pointing it out to you. The fast side, on the other hand, this is the rough side of Offspray. You can also find that on the Glacier series, Conspiracy series, or the Swanky series. Because of those fabrics, Oktane rates this bag as a 5 on the slow side with an 8 on the fast side. I'm going to perfectly agree with those speed ratings. They have a medium template. I mean, this is the standard medium template, I guess, that we're all used to in cornhole bags. As far as the fullness, it's a medium amount of fullness. They're not too thin. They're not too full. This bag, in my mind, is like right in that sweet spot where cornhole bags should be. So this right here, this is, I think, what's a little bit different about this series than most other series, in that they have Oktane's Champion blend for the fill. I mean, that is a fancy word for saying a mixed fill, but the website gives a lot of detail on it. You go on there and read up on it. There's 4 different pellets in this bag, including some micro rounds and some medium-sized rounds and whatnot. So Oktane, again, on the website claims that championship blend makes the bag like real shifty, so you're able to cut it and make like real sharp, aggressive cuts. What I think does for it is it makes it super drippy. You can imagine, you know, I always say it's hard to put a ball on top of another ball. Well, imagine putting like a basketball on top of a baseball, you know, different sized round pellets. They're really not going to want to settle, and they're just going to want to keep on trying to roll over. And when it does roll over, it's going to roll into the hole. Before I get into the slide up, I just want to give you a friendly reminder. If you are enjoying the content, go down there and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you like this video, give it a like. Hopefully I could describe it, you know, in a little bit more detail during the slide up. But I think the highlight of this bag is that they were just different. And I think it has a lot to do with that mixed fill. I don't know if that rotated hybrid material has any factor into it, but the bags were shifty and they were super, super drippy. And I really like that about them. The low light on them, though, is that they did stretch some, and I know that because when I first got these bags, it was like a fuller bag, and then I broke them in. It was still fuller, and it seemed to me like they did shift a little bit better back then, but once they thinned out, you know, they lost a little bit of that cut action, but I think that's where they really, really gained the drippiness that I've been mentioning. They also gained forgiveness when they thinned out and loosened up, so I think that was also a benefit to them, but they still are a shifty bag. Like, you still can cut them and move them, so there is a possibility that they will kick on you, especially if you don't throw the flattest of bags. Through these bags with a ton of different people, I never heard one person complain about that kick, though. I really think these bags have like all the factors that lead to good whole bodiness. You know, I've already mentioned that drip, which makes them hole friendly. They are a little bit looser, so you do get those accidental grabs with them, and you can shape shots with them. So you can always make sure that you get the bag heading in the direction of that hole. So really, really good whole bodiness, and I think that drippiness with that fill and this hybrid material was definitely the highlight of the series. Hangers, obviously, straight on collects, obviously, they can do all of that. I did think it got a little bit trickier when you're trying to pull the bag off to the side, because there is the possibility that they could bunch a little on you or bounce off of that. the good news is since it's an active bag, you can put a nice cut on your bag to square it up to the bag you're trying to collect. And then that's going to make the collect a little bit easier. And like I said, Oktane stated, you know, that fill, what it does is it makes like real sharp, aggressive cuts. And that means that when you do throw a cut shot, you know, it's not cutting over a large distance, it's cutting over a shorter distance. So it's like a real aggressive cut. And that really helps with the collectability, because if you do have a bag off to the side, you don't have a lot of room for a long cut. So you play that aggressive cut right into it and hope that you do collect it and get them both to go into the hole. You can play these bags however you want. I think they are going to be a really good option for blind draws, because I don't see many people complaining about this bag if you do bring it out. I personally, I thought they were way better offensively, and I'm talking, you know, running holes, use the advantage, use that forgiveness you get from it, use that drip, use the looseness and the stretch, so you can get those accidental grabs. Also, use them as like the offensive dirty style game too. Like if your opponent is putting up blockers on you, use the advantages of this bag to cut and roll or whatever you need to do to get around that bag. I think the benefits of the whole bodiness, to me, and the little bit of weakness you have with the collectability, I don't think it's a bag that you're going to want to purposely lay the block with and, you know, initiate that dirty style game, because then you're going to have to try to clean your bag up. So I really think run holes, you know, put as many in the hole as you can, and then if you want to, you know, lay a block right in front of the hole just to try to mess your opponent up, you have that possibility with these bags. Like I said, they are a Canadian-based company. They have a website. It's just oktanecornhole.com. And there is a Facebook page for them. It's Oktane Cornhole Gear. There's a wide variety of designs on the website, and they do seem to be available. The problem comes with the cost and shipping, and I don't know how this works. I ordered these right away when they were released, and I didn't have an issue with it, but I think times have changed, and I'm not even going to try to touch the cost of the bags, because it's listed in CAD, which is Canadian, so I don't know what that translates down to American. But if you have any questions, reach out to them. Maybe they know some workarounds. Maybe they can give you some better ideas on the shipping costs and how to get these bags to you. There was just something different that hit different about these bags, and like I said, I think it's primarily because of that fill and where their template is on this series. But really enjoyed throwing these bags. I hope you get the opportunity to. It's just you got to get around that whole shipping from Canada, which maybe things will settle down. I don't know what's going on, but if you do have a chance to try these out, I highly suggest it. And I just want to end this with, if you're going to be average or something, be average at cornhole.